what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I thought we'd start 10 minutes early just to welcome you lot in, see how everyone's feeling, see who we're predicting between Barcelona or Chelsea in the round of 16. And of course, we will find out the semi-finals and everything in this one. The quarters and the semi-finals to come, or have I just made that up? I don't know if I read that right. Who cares? First of all, we'll see what happens when the draw starts in 10 minutes' time. And we know it'll take bloody ages for them to get into the thick of it. But we're here to have a bit of crack with everyone, see how everyone's doing, maybe talk about the weekend's game tomorrow against Everton at St. James's, 3 o'clock kickoff, and have a little bit of crack from Eddie Howe's press conference. I didn't actually get a chance to see that, but we've seen what's been said in it. And funny enough, he mentioned regarding the Champions League draw that he was just happy that he can't draw Man City. Again, because we always get Man City. As we know, we're playing them for the 5th time this season when we come up against them in the FA Cup next weekend after I faced them in the semis of the Carabao, home and away in the league. Right then, let's have a look at your comments. Where are we? I call howdy, good old howdy on that one from Changing by Campton. Calls coming in there with Chelsea would be lovely and Liverpool on the other side, please. That would mean Tottenham or Atletico after. I think Atletico will spank Spurs, give Spurs a good old spanking. So I think it would be Atletico then. There's so many different ifs and buts, is it? But if that's the side of the draw that it'll come on, then imagine that. Tottenham or Atletico next, which I do think will be Atletico. That would be a bit tough. Obviously, Simeone, we played them pre-season. Not that you can judge pre-season, but we know what Atletico Madrid are all about. Tough, organised, brutal side, to be fair, aren't they? Really hard to play against, and Simeone's an absolute nutter. I was creasing when we were at the Cellar Cup and we had the press box, so we're right there on the pitch. We could hear and see what all the staff were saying, and Diego Simeone was going absolutely berserk like it was the Champions League final. It was the Cellar Cup final, but he was taking it just as seriously as the Champions League. The bloke is an absolute lunatic, but I loved him. I thought his passion was quality. And if Eddie Howe was to leave Newcastle at some point, for whatever reason, I would love Simeone. But it looks like he's never going to leave Atletico, because why wouldn't you have already? It would be great to see him in the Prem. But either of those, you couldn't complain at all in the next round if that was the case. Morning, people, morning. Barbara wants Barcelona. Barcelona for Barbara. Not a bad shout. I mean, I'm going to get into what I think in a minute, but Barbara wants Barcelona. Jimmy, good morning. Chelsea, 100%. He wants Chelsea there, does Jimmy. So we've got 50-50 so far. Aussie Mark Hal, good to meet you in town the other day, mate, too. Good crack. Hope you enjoyed the Carabao game. At least we got the win for you. Fair play on that journey, and good to hear you landed safely back in Oz. Hopefully Chelsea, says Anthony. I think we can beat them over 2 legs. Absolutely can. Morning, Matty. Hope you're well. Jazz Jeff, all good. Thanks. Hope you are too. Barcelona, then Spurs would be great. I mean, what a route that is. If it's Chelsea or Barcelona, and then you get through them, I think we'll get through Spurs or Atletico. Great chance. Great chance to get to a semi-final of a Champions League. If you quarter-finals against Spurs or even Atletico, what a chance. What an opportunity that is. We're just going to turn this down for when the draw starts, which should be in the next 5 minutes. Barca for Kirsty. Geordie Chimp. PSG game show we can compete against Europe's elite. Bring on Barca. It does, to be fair. We're going to get into more of that in just a minute. John says so much for hope, saying he's going to be out longer. According to Bruno and Eddie, he's doing great and still on time for original return. That's good to hear. I haven't seen the press conference yet. I've seen bits and pieces from, the quotes from the press and what the club have put out, but didn't watch it myself yet. Will do this afternoon. But if that's the crack there regarding Bruno, then that is good news, because the sooner the better. Because I did read Hope's article yesterday where he said he would be out for another 10 games. You already know he's missing the derby. He's going to miss the round of 16, but yeah, another 10 from now as well is a bloody nightmare, considering he's already missed a few. Let's batter either of them. Good attitude, to be fair. That's the way of looking at it. PSG game show really here. Chelsea better for knockout stage. Barca turned up against Inter last year. 3 games in a row for Chelsea. Some effort required. Could we do the treble in 7 days? Miley linked with all our players. Shock there, isn't it? Shock there. I mean, they took the players we wanted last summer. Imagine if we could have got Mbumo, saying it all along, but Mbumo would have been so good for us. I think we would have had a completely different season. Imagine we had Mbumo there banging the goals, and we've seen him already link up with Wissa. So killer blow on that one. And then apparently they're after Bruno, Tonali, Gordon, and Joe. Great. Well, you know what, man, you are now going to do that. I think it's worked for them going in the Premier League and picking off other clubs' best players, like they did with Mbumo, like they did with Cunha from Wolves, and then they did it in the past with Fergie. So I think they're going back to that now, where they're trying to nick other teams' players. So they'll be thinking and looking at us as a threat. That's why they got Chesko before we could, and then they'll be trying to take our best players and steal them as well. What was the other one here? Graham. 3 games in a row v Chelsea. Some effort required. 3 times. If it is Chelsea, then it will be 3 matches in a week, as Graham says there. Obviously, the first leg of this is going to be at home for us either way, isn't it? And then it will be away to the Bridge on the Saturday, then away at the Bridge. They may just stay in London for a few days, to be fair. And then they'd be there for the game during the week. So, that wouldn't be ideal at all. I mean, it's crap, innit? It's like a bit like with City this season, when we seem to be playing them all the time. If you're playing the same team, it's boring, innit? And it is boring drawing English sides in the Champions League. I will say that. I'll get into my thoughts now on what the crack's going to be for the draw, who I want. You know, I do think it is just so boring when you get drawn against a domestic side. When you're in the Champions League, you want to be playing Europe's elite. Like, in a way, it would have been nicer to maybe play a lesser side than Barcelona. You know, one of the best. Maybe if it was someone else in the hat, that you'd fancy yourself a bit more. But I still fancy us against Barcelona. And I just think it would be a class away day, of course, an iconic one. You know, the new camp is done up again now. It's got that extension on, and they're ready to go. So to go there, Geordie's taking over Barcelona. Bit of a shorter trip than Azerbaijan, so that's ideal. Barca instead of Baku. So that's a good trip. Be an amazing experience. Be a class away day. And at home is going to be the key, because if we take a decent lead into whoever we play, let's say it is theoretically Barcelona, then if we take a 2-0 lead, 3-1 lead, whatever, into the new camp, try and keep things tight, even if you got beat 1-0 or got a draw, then that would be enough. And I think we're more than capable of doing that. On our day, as you were saying earlier, you know, we've shown that we can beat the best teams in the world, but we blew PSG away. And I know that was 2 years ago, but even PSG last month in the Champions League at their place, we should have won, and that was with a depleted team. So, you know, they're the current champions. So I think there's no fear for me. I think, you know, the lads can turn up on their day. They can get up for it. I think St. James's Park, if it was Barcelona as well, would be an absolutely unbelievable atmosphere. It would be class. Because even when we played them at the start of the season in the Champions League, the first game at St. James's, you know, we were unlucky. We had chances in the opening stages where we should have buried them. Was it Barnes, Gordon? You know, we missed some good opportunities there, and then they score a wonder goal. And I don't think Barcelona were even good that great that day. So I think when Rashford scored the screamer, and then, you know, towards the end we lose it a little bit, it could be a different story this time. I think, and I'm hoping, obviously optimistically, that it would be more of a turnout that we did against PSG at St. James's a couple of years ago. Get the place absolutely rocking. The round of 16, man, for the Champions League, it would be absolutely monumental for this club. And if we could get through that, we've seen that the next stage will be Spurs or Atletico Madrid. So I'm really, honestly, not bothered who we get today. I don't really have a preference. There's a part of me where I've just said there, give us Barca, give us the Spanish away day, give us the best, get them out of the way, and give us the challenge. And then there's also part of us where, realistically, probably got a better chance of beating Chelsea over 2 legs than Barcelona. You would think, because of our record at St. James's against Chelsea this year. Yep, we blew a 2-0 lead. We should have been bloody 4-0 up at half-time, not 2-0. But they came back, drew 2-2. But historically, Chelsea hate coming to St. James's Park. They never really get a result there. So I think we'd definitely beat them. But then Stamford Bridge isn't a happy hunting ground for us. We never really win there. I mean, was the last time Papi Cissé's bloody wonder goal. So we haven't won there in ages from my memory. We seem to always get turned over there. But it could be more favourable, wouldn't it? It would be easier, you would think, going to Stamford Bridge, beat them at home by a couple of goals, go to Stamford Bridge, same sort of thing. Even if you just lose by one goal, even if you just get a draw, keep things ugly, keep things tight. Realistically, yeah, Chelsea, you would assume would be the easier tie because Barcelona. But Chelsea, under their new manager, Rosina, it's a bit hit and miss, isn't it? You don't know what you're going to get. They've drew lately with Burnley, and then they've played well in other games, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, if you're being sensible, am I right in saying that there's no use think 300 people watching? Hit subscribe if you haven't, please. Really close to 50,000. So I'd really appreciate it if you could just hit subscribe nice and quick, nice and free, and drop your thoughts in there. Am I right in saying Chelsea's going to be an easier draw? Would you prefer Barcelona? Let me know. I'm happy either way. But yeah, you've got to look at it and think, we've got Chelsea. It's a more favourable tide to get through and to fancy us into the next round. Pedro Pinto, great name, is the host of the Champions League draw that is starting right now, people. So we are just minutes away from finding out the draw. There'll be other people in the chat who aren't just Newcastle fans, so we'll let them know as well who they've got. But obviously, on the Magpie channel, we're focusing on the Mags, and we're looking to see if it's Barcelona or London for Newcastle in the next round. There's a Newcastle representative straight away getting shown. All in their suits there in Switzerland ahead of the round of 16 draw. It's going to be some tasty ties. I mean, even those teams that did get through and didn't have to play a knockout game, well, they're still going to have some tough opposition because look at this. Spurs, well, right up there, they finished fourth, didn't they, in the Champions League knockout in that group phase. So they could be coming up against a tough side as well. They're showing it now where the final is Budapest. I would absolutely love to get to the final for Budapest as well. Goes out saying to be in a Champions League final, but what a host city that is. If you haven't been to Budapest before, I'd recommend it. Like, it's an absolutely unreal city. Class place. Let's have a look back in the chat as the draw is about to begin. Uh, Chelsea's what someone's after there. Hopefully Bruno's back for the Arsenal game. We beat whoever we draw, says Danny up the mags. That's the spirit, Danny. Madrid v Man City is looking like a likely one. There's a few years I've put in the comments there. Matt says Chelsea is probably the easier game, but Barca is definitely the more entertaining and exciting draw, says Matt. Completely agree. Completely agree. And that's the one, you look at the Champions League and you think of the iconic nights and teams you want to come up against, and that is Barcelona. That is them teams that you want to be competing with. Not Chelsea. We already play in bloody cups in the league twice a season. But Barcelona will be obviously a great test. Mentioned that we'll play them at the start of the Champions League group table, but we weren't at our best at all then. So I fancy us, man. I fancy us against whoever we'll come up against as well. Showing the little highlight of Joe Linton's volley there against Karabag as they go through the teams that are in the hat. Arsenal will turn us over, no doubt, Matty. We need Chelsea, says John. Away, nah, man, they're not turning us over. Need chance. I fancy us against Barca, says Paddy. Shout out, Paddy, there. Hope you're enjoying yourself, mate, wherever you are in Asia or in the world. Hope you're good. Thomas, anyone know what time the draw is? Right now, Thomas. The draw is right now. They're literally just showing who's in the hat. There's Galatasaray. What a game that was the other night, by the way. Mental, wasn't it? Like Kelly getting sent off, which was a mad sending off, but Osherman sent them through to the next round. And shout out Bodo Glimt as well. They're on the screen there now. Bodo Glimt. What a story for them. What a story for them. Everyone used to laugh at them, and now they're like, well, they're a decent side, to be fair, aren't they? Really decent. Chelsea's easier draw, but Barca could be a classic, just like the 3-2 back in the day. Of course, it could be a classic. Having Chelsea 3 times in a week, definitely no. I'd love us to get Barcelona. It'd be great for our supporters, and they were lucky against us, is David Archer. Mark, who's a member, shout out Mark. I'm with you, Matty. Chelsea is the easier draw. Saying that, us against Barcelona is incredibly high lane. Yeah, there we go. You know what I mean? Gordon getting in. Bit more form now as well. Gordon trying to get that golden boot. Fancies it, wants it. That's better for us. UEFA Deputy General Secretary was waffling here before The draw is finally about to take place. Shout out Damien Bean with a super chat. Good day, Matty. Love your work. Have a beer on me. You're my go-to for all the latest team news from down here in hot old Melbourne. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. I will replace that with a beer at Everton tomorrow. So appreciate that one, mate. Thanks for the super chat. And enjoy hot old Melbourne, you lucky bugger. Yeah, we freezing old Newcastle, yeah. At least the sun's coming out a little bit, but Melbourne's probably more favourable for us at the minute. Cheers for that one, Damien. Yeah, we'll go then. Loads of notifications coming to me now about exclusive Anthony Gordon contract. Anthony Gordon's Newcastle contract ends in 2030, meaning the player still has 4 years left on his deal. Newcastle agreed a long-term extension with the forward 16 months ago. Sky are revealing that the extension is a straight contract until 2030 when the player will be 29. That gives Newcastle security when it comes to the value of the international. A little bit of information coming out there on Anthony Gordon, who, as we talked about before, is the second top goal scorer in the Champions League this season. He signed a contract extension uh, just over a year ago now, which keeps him at the club until 2030. This is amidst more speculation linking him with Man United, with Liverpool, with Arsenal, with everybody. And how was actually asked on Newcastle players, Gordon in particular, being linked away with moves consistently, and if it's something that is an upsetting method for Newcastle and the players. And how said you tell me? It's your industry that creates these stories. Lee Raider that asked the questions, gave it back to him and said, "Well, you tell me. You are the ones that keep putting it in the press." He says he's secluded from it because I don't read it. It's not. Is it not part of modern football? It's irrelevant. How the players take to it. If they absorb it, then it's a negative. But I think they've become robust enough to ignore it and concentrate on their football. That being said, I remember when Gordon mentioned in an interview that it did affect him, the speculation, and he was pleased to stay in. Ivan Rakitic is now on the stage for the draw, so if he wants to crack on, that would be good to find out what the round of 16 ties are in the Champions League. What else did he have to say on this one? We are mid-season. We're in the middle of some of the biggest games of his career, and who knows what's going to happen with him internationally in the summer. There's no time to look left or right. He thinks when he comes to focus and windows are open, if it's the only time players should be thinking about their futures at all. In the meantime, everything they do affects their future. I'd encourage them to play at their best level, and I've been very impressed with Anthony recently. You're there on the future of Anthony Gordon. Uh, and it's back on to be fair, isn't it? Hang on. Should be just concentrating on your football. Concentrate on your football. Concentrate on the club you're at. Get on with it. What are the odds of knocking out Gala, you reckon? Ooh, I don't know. I'd be interested to see who they get, but I think, Galatasaray, these are one of the teams. It's tough, man. You don't want to Galatasaray in the Champions League. You really don't, because going to their place, we know how hostile and tough it is to play against them. Now they've added some real quality again to the team as well. When you've got a striker like Oshman, who any club in the world could do with. It's a difficult time, man. Difficult time. So I wouldn't fancy them in the next round at all. Barca, please, says Rebecca. Don't want to play a Premier League club. Hearing that, I said it before, boring as out playing a team from your own country. It's got to be Barca for me. We want the big team, Charlie. Yeah, I would say, man, why not? Eh? These are about to get going. I think people in the Champions League draw. Rakitic there, suited up. We need to crack on, hopefully. I think he is. I mean, how many instructions do they need? They must have rehearsed this. All you're doing is pick oh, man. You have to drag it on, don't it? It was a nightmare the first time around. That group phase, you know what I mean? Went on longer than the bloody Titanic. I was just going to say who we're going to get. I can't. I'm going to say Barcelona. I think it'll be Barcelona. Barca has to be the one we want. Says Craig, Sod, Chelsea, John. Don't want to play them 3 times in a week. Yeah, we're gambling. So it will be Atletico or Spurs or Liverpool Oh, we'll just wait until it's done because all these bloody permutations to come out with, it's nuts, man, isn't it? Absolutely wild. That Man City could get Bodo. Yeah, we'll just wait until it's drawn because there's no point in even trying to predict it. They go through all the seeded pairings, yeah. Arsenal were top of the Champions League group, then it was Bayern Munich, Liverpool and Spurs in 3rd and 4th. 5th and 6th was Chelsea, Sporting Lisbon and City, 7th and 8th. The road to Budapest. What a road that would be to get there, man. Imagine Newcastle in it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Round of 16, mate. Calm down. But just imagine all the Geordies in the Toon Army in Budapest, man, for a bloody Champions League final. Wild. What a place to have it as well. Big's watching in Saudi. Big up. What's it like over there in Saudi? Still never been. Got Saudi shit on there. That's what I like to call it, don't they? The Saudi kit. Remember, these ties are going to be played on the 10th and 11th of March, and then the following week, 17th and 18th. So not long to go at all, really, until these. It's a bit late, isn't it? Never help the fans who were trying to really plan your travel. It's March in a couple of days. We're literally like less than 2 weeks away from these games on. So when this comes out, if we do get Barcelona, the flight prices are you're probably better off booking one now just in case, trying to get a cancellation on it or just losing the 50 quid or something. Because I tell you what, the flight price is gonna go from 50 quid from Manchester on a Jet2 to Barcelona for Newcastle, and then when all the fans, when 5,000, 10,000 Newcastle fans log in, it's gonna go from 50 quid to 500 quid. Absolutely will. Even the train, but you should just book them. I don't know why I'm telling you. I should be doing it right now. Audio's a bit patchy, mate. Definitely shouldn't be. They've got very good equipment here now, so it shouldn't be patchy at all. Should be absolutely sound. Absolutely sound. So hopefully that's on your end. I'm gonna check that on my YouTube to make sure it should be sounding absolutely lovely, to be honest with you. Oh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there, the draw. Is it finished on? It looks like showing Rakitic with these we're at the pots again. So hopefully that's the crack. It's not a bit fuzzy. I don't know what that's all about. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Anyway, what can we do at this point? Go for it, sounds Harry, for you lot. I don't know why. It should be absolutely. But maybe we just go this is the draw starting as well, though. Not ideal. Anyways, the draw's starting, so I don't know why it started playing up the audio. But it's beginning, so we're cracking on. We're cracking on. Audio is fine for a few years. That's good to know. That's good to know. Rakitic is getting he's trying his best. He can't open it. He's had to pass it on. Rakitic got sweaty hands. That seems a bit dodgy to me. Suspicion here. Rakitic can't even open a bloody ball. Yeah, we're going then. Manchester City is the first one out the hat. This is a draw for them, I'm sure. Real Madrid! Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. See what I mean? Man City didn't have to do Carabao away. They finished higher up in the league phase. They got 7th or 8th, but the true Real Madrid, the City bloke looks well pissed off. Sporting Lisbon, Bodo, Sporting Lisbon. I tell you what, Sporting Lisbon have got a chance to go in through there, haven't they? I mean, Bodo Glimt got a chance to go in through there. The flashing teams, so Bodo Glimt getting Sporting Lisbon. Bodo Glimt quarter final, and I'm seeing it now. Man City could be out. Oh, and then Rakitic. Chelsea. So that means we get Barca. Does indeed. Chelsea are away at PSG. We have Barcelona. Get on the flights now, people. Get on the flights now. The price has just gone up. Newcastle will be in Barcelona in the next round. Bring it on. There's confirmation. Barcelona. Chelsea, Chelsea away at PSG. No easy ties now. You know what I mean? There really isn't. Newcastle got Barcelona. Chelsea have got PSG. City got Real Madrid. You know, there's some really tough ties there, man. You know, I don't think it matters. I think you've just got to crack on. You're in the Champions League now. You play the big teams. You know, you've got to play the big teams, and this is what it's all about. This is what we dreamed of. We're nowhere near this a few years ago, getting the chance to go to the new camp. I mean, it's going to be iconic, historic, and what a moment it is for us. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring them on at the St. James's Park. Bring it on at the new camp. We'll go for it. Liverpool have got Galatasaray. You know, so mad. No one's got an easy draw. We've got Sporting Lisbon, but Odo are flying. So, aye, what a draw. What a draw this has turned out to be for everyone, to be honest with you. And it will be Newcastle at Barcelona. Tottenham Hotspur just drawn out there as well. And that'll be them against Atletico Madrid. So, wow, what a draw. Spurs, a lot of English teams could be up against it. Yeah, I mean, they're really good. They're really good because the Spurs are going to Atletico Madrid. Man City are going to Madrid to play Real. Liverpool are going to Turkey to play Galatasaray. Chelsea are going to Paris to play PSG. And Newcastle are going to Barcelona. So, unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. Who did Sunderland get? Sunderland don't even know what's going on, man. They haven't got a clue. Class. Just going to post this on socials now, people. Let us know what you think of the draw in the comments. Arsenal, got the hat out. Oh, Martin Keown. What do you think about that, Keown? Leverkusen, that's actually a pretty good draw. But they did finish top. They did finish top. We should have beat Leverkusen. I was there in Germany against Leverkusen. We should have beat them. Like so, that's probably the only decent draw for any English side. Will be. I see people asking. It will be Atletico Madrid or Tottenham next if Newcastle got through. Atletico or Tottenham in the quarterfinal if Newcastle can get past Barcelona, which they can, which they will. I'm seeing it now. Seeing it now, people. Which they will. What a draw. PSG, Chelsea, Galatasaray, Liverpool, Real Madrid, City, Atalanta, Bayern Munich, Newcastle, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham, Bodo, Sporting Lisbon, and Bayer Leverkusen, Arsenal. I tell you what, honestly, I'm seeing it now, right? If we beat Barcelona, we will get the final. I'm seeing it now. Our route is so good. This is the hardest game. Atletico Madrid or Spurs in the quarterfinal. I think they'll be Atletico, to be honest with you. And yes, they're a really good side, but a quarterfinal against them, not sure what the semis are. Does anybody know? They didn't put that on the graph on the draw there. Does anybody know what the semi-final would be? Wasn't it? I think it'd be Atletico Madrid, wasn't it? Something like that. I think it was that. To be honest with you, Newcastle have a big chance. We have a really big chance of going far in this competition if he can deal with Barcelona. Yes, it's the biggest. Yes, it's a tough ask, but it's huge. Big opportunity for this to try and get through to the next one. What was that? Sky Sports have just posted it wrong. Just got it from the app there. They've put Newcastle face Chelsea. Wrong. Fucked up on that one. They've put that we will be facing Chelsea. That's not true. We've got that notification through as well. On their app. Someone's getting sacked. Just going to post this now. The graphic of us playing Barcelona in the next round of the Champions League. Keep your comments coming in, everyone. I'll read them out in just a minute. See what you are saying and feeling ahead of that round of 16 trip to the new camp. But obviously, uh, it's yeah, we'll whack that on as well. It's St James's Park first. Not long to go until that one as well. 10th or 11th of March, isn't it? Those ties. Berserk. Oh, bring on Barcelona, eh? Bring on Barcelona. Pardon me. Getting excited about going to Barcelona. Reet. Let's see. Potentially Arsenal in the semi. See as Matt. Oh. Well, we'll see because they're in the Premier League. Couldn't take them on. Take them on. Why not, eh? Let's see what else is coming out on this draw now, because I think more people are talking about the following rounds, getting excited. So the first leg will be on the 10th or 11th of March at home at St. James's Park against the Catalan Giants. And then the second leg, just a week later, 17th or the 18th of March, away at the new camp. And if Newcastle were to get past Barcelona, they will play the winners of Spurs or Atletico Madrid in the quarter finals. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. Class, man. It's what we all came here for. This is what we all wanted the Champions League for. Think of this atmosphere. Think of these nights and these memories that could be created, man. If we managed to do something against these, like, it would be sensational. It would be crazy special. And like I said, it's not like the draw's been harsh on us. I don't think. You look around at the draw, everyone's got tough games. Everyone's got tough games, really, apart from Arsenal. But they finished top of the Champions League. But with Chelsea having to go to PSG, Liverpool going to Galatasaray, Spurs going to Atletico Madrid, Man City going to Real Madrid. Crazy, man. Crazy. Let's go back to the top of the draw then when it first came out, just to get your reaction. Barcelona getting smashed, says Jamie. It's the spirit, man. Liverpool and City both on the opposite sides to us. Sound. That's what we wanted to hear. That's what Eddie Howe said in the press conference this morning when he was laughing about, at least we can't get Man City. We have to play at them all the time. Liam, our side of the draw is sound. Beat Barca. We've got a good look to get to the semis. Completely agree. Game going to be a tough one, especially the fact we got beat at home from them before. We really weren't playing well, though. I know we've kind of just about turned a corner lately, looking a lot better, especially away from home. But early on the season, we weren't up to speed. We weren't getting running. You tried going down the middle, it didn't work. It's working a bit better now. And this will be different. I think, with it being the knockouts, it really should raise the roof. And it should be it should arguably be the best atmosphere ever. Apart from the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. When has there been a bigger game at St. James's Park for Newcastle? You're talking derbies, semi-final of the Carabao Cups and in the past in other cups. But for this one, this is the furthest we've ever got the Champions League. And you have a chance to get to a quarter final. So you're playing Barca at St. James's. Yes, it would have been better if the second leg was at St. James's, because you could just go to Barca, stink the place out, try and even just get beat 1-0 would be all right. Take them back to St. James's, get the place bouncing and put 2 or 3 past them. We have to do it the other way around. We have to absolutely go for it against them at St. James's Park. We have to try and, obviously, if we don't take a lead at the new camp, it's going to be a sticky one. But if we can go there and take a 2-1 there, maybe even more, if we can somehow get past them or even keep it tight at 2-0, and then you go to Barcelona, are you going to keep a clean sheet at the new camp? Very, very, very difficult. But you could lose 1-0, you could lose 2-1, 3-1, and then who knows? This is going to be dramatic. You could see this being an extra time job. I could see Newcastle beating Barcelona 2-1 at home, losing 1-0 or 1-1 or something over there. I don't know. And then it going to extra time, going to penalties, being level on aggregate, basically, across the 2 legs. And then it could be anything past that. But Newcastle have to obviously take advantage of being at home first. The advantage normally lies with being at home second. That's where we are now. Get them at St. James's Park. Put them under it. And listen, if we did beat them at home that first leg, how much of a boost is it for everyone heading to the new camp for the belief that you can beat them. If you've just beat them the week before at St James Park, you're going up against the same team a week later. Yes, it's at their ground. Yes, it'll be tough, but it gives you that confidence heading into that game. Like we just beat these last week, man. I think because we had that with PSG. I think because we were so close to beating them 2 years ago, when the lads went back to the Parc des Princes last month, they had the confidence. They weren't fazed by it. They weren't bothered that this was the Champions League called as. They went there, played our own game, played the best we'd played in ages, and gave it to PSG, and we should have won again. So there's no stopping us from going to the new camp, playing Barcelona, and putting in a performance like we did against PSG at the Parc des Princes, and then similar, putting in a PSG-style performance at home like we did against them a couple of years ago, this time round against Barca in the last 16. So I'm confident. Obviously, it's going to be hard. Obviously, they're a class team, but it gives us a great route. And, you don't want to get ahead of yourselves, but if you look and you think, get past these, it's on. It's serious. And what a tie it'll be regardless. What an opportunity it is. So let's just give it a all, man. And if the lads play like they can, play to the best, like we did against PSG and like we've done in the Carabao Cup final and stuff, raise your game. The crowd will raise theirs. There's no stopping them. There's an opportunity there. It's not like Barcelona have been unbelievable this season. They haven't got Ronaldinho, they haven't got Deco, they haven't got Messi. So yes, they've got class players and Flick the manager, and it's going to be hard. But it's not an impossible feat. It's not one to worry about or fear. I think we have to just go there and we can get something. I really do. Over 2 legs as well. I fancy it. Who do we play if we beat Barca, says Chris? It would be Atletico Madrid or Spurs, so the winner of that game. Don't lose the home game and you give yourself a chance, says Liam. Fatigue and lack of depth will be the end of us in this comp, says Beatwo. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. Jamie, 5-0, 2-0 at home, 3-1 away. That'll do. I don't know if you've meant 3-1 Newcastle away as well, but whatever. I'll be realistic and say managed to beat them 5-0 at home, then we're going to afford to lose 3-1 away. That would be absolutely fine. I'd take that like no bother. Liverpool or Real Madrid will win the Champions League this year. See, shall we there? I'm a little worried with the travel to Barca with the scum straight after. That is a good point, actually. That is a good point by Sean with the travel that's involved for Newcastle. It's not far though, is it? I think we dealt really well with the Azerbaijan travel. The lads went all the way to bloody Baku, 5-6 hour flight, and then went to Villa in steamrolled Villa. So, and then this one was obviously at home against the Mackhams, but aye, you're right. Obviously, it will be in between that. So if you look at the games, we know we've got Everton tomorrow, Man United next Wednesday, Man City in the Cup on the Saturday. Could have really done with a better draw in the FA Cup there, couldn't we, just to give some of the lads a rest, but obviously not. Chelsea away, so just the one game against Chelsea now. A lot of talk in the chat earlier. It'll be 3 games in a week against Chelsea. That would have been the case if we drew them, but obviously not now. We've got Barcelona. So it'll be Chelsea away on the 14th of March. That's now a 5:30 kickoff. And it'll be Barcelona during the week. So either before or after that one. And then the Mackhams on the 22nd. So yeah, it'll be from London to Barcelona, basically. And then back home to play the Mackhams in that 12 o'clock kickoff on Derby Day, the 22nd of March. So I get what you're saying, but I'm still all right with that. Barcelona's it's not a far trip. It'll take about an hour. The plane they'll be on. A couple of hours for us fans bumming it on a pretty EasyJet or Ryanair, whatever it is. Right. With this squad, anything can happen. Newcastle bring their A game. Absolutely. I think it's a nice place to finish off on that one, people. Barcelona awaits Newcastle United in the Champions League round of 16. If we were to beat them, then that would see us come up against Atletico Madrid or Spurs, so the winner of that tie. So that would be a very tasty quarter-final opportunity. But can it look past Barcelona yet? First leg at St. James's Park, and then the second leg at the new camp the week after. 10th, 11th of March, and then the 17th and 18th of March. Bring it on. Thanks for watching, people. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like, and I'll see you on the next one.